It happens in the parking lot, in the kitchen, in the shower. You are completely alone and suddenly you hear a voice. Your voice. Okay, where did I put the keys? And then it hits you. You just talk to yourself. Out loud, you glance around, hoping nobody heard. Because somewhere along the way you learn that talking to yourself is embarrassing. A little strange. Maybe even the first sign of losing it. But here is what the science actually says. Talking to yourself is not a malfunction. It is one of the most sophisticated tools your brain has ever built. And the people who use it deliberately think more clearly, perform better under pressure, and control their emotions better than the people who stay silent. Start with a simple fact. You never really stop talking to yourself. Right now, as you watch this, there is a voice narrating inside your head. Psychologists call it inner speech, and researcher Charles Fernyhough at Durham University has spent his career studying it. His work suggests your inner voice is not background noise, it is thinking itself. Some studies estimate that inner speech runs through your mind for a huge portion of your waking life, condensed and lightning fast, planning, rehearsing, arguing, narrating. The voice you catch yourself using out loud in the kitchen, that is just the inner voice slipping through the walls. But where did this voice come from? To answer that, you have to watch a child play. In the 1930s, a Russian psychologist named Lev Vygotsky noticed something curious. Young children constantly narrate their own actions out loud. Now the block goes here. No, that one is too big. Vygotsky realized this was not random chatter. The child was using language as a tool, borrowing the words adults used to guide them, and turning those words on themselves. Speech from the outside was becoming a steering wheel on the inside. Around age 7, that spoken narration goes underground. It becomes silent. It becomes your inner voice, which means the voice in your head is not some mysterious ghost. It is the internalized voice of every person who ever guided you, compressed into a tool you now carry everywhere. And that tool does real work. Consider something as simple as finding your keys. Cognitive scientist Gary Lupien at the University of Wisconsin ran experiments where people searched for objects, sometimes silently, sometimes while saying the object's name out loud. Keys, keys, keys. It sounds ridiculous. It also worked. Saying the name of the thing you are looking for made people find it faster. The word acts like a flashlight, priming your visual system, sharpening what your eyes are hunting for. Your grandmother muttering "glasses, glasses" while patting the couch cushions was not being scatterbrained. She was running a cognitive enhancement program. Now raise the stakes. What happens when you are not looking for keys but facing something that terrifies you? A job interview, a confrontation, a speech. This is where the research gets remarkable. Psychologist Ethan Kross at the University of Michigan studies what he calls chatter, the dark side of the inner voice, the loop of worry that spins when you are stressed. And his lab discovered something strange. The words you use when you talk to yourself change how your brain processes fear. In his experiments, people prepared for a stressful public speech. Half of them reflected on their anxiety using I. Why am I so nervous? The other half used their own name and the word you. Why is Sarah nervous? You can handle this. That tiny grammatical shift called distance self-talk changed everything. The name users felt less anxiety, performed better, and ruminated less afterward. Brain imaging showed their emotional centers calming down within seconds, with barely any extra mental effort. Why would such a small trick work so well? Because of a strange asymmetry in your mind. You are terrible at advising yourself and excellent at advising other people. When your friend is spiraling, you see their problem clearly. You are calm, wise, reasonable. But when it is your problem, you are trapped inside the storm. Using your own name flips the perspective. It turns you into the friend. Same brain, same problem, but suddenly you are looking at it from the outside, and the storm shrinks. Kross found people spontaneously do this in the hardest moments of their lives, coaching themselves by name through grief, fear, and pressure like a hand on their own shoulder. Athletes figured this out before the scientists did. Watch elite competitors and you will see lips moving. Tennis players scolding themselves between points. Lifters muttering before a heavy attempt. Sports psychologist Antonis Hatzigeorgiadis analyzed dozens of studies on athletic self-talk and found a consistent result. Athletes who used deliberate self-talk performed measurably better, especially with instructional phrases for precision tasks. Watch the ball. Elbow up. The voice is not a nervous tic. It is a performance tool, focusing attention like a coach who lives in your head and never misses a session. So the voice can find your keys, calm your fear, and sharpen your performance. But there is one more thing it does, and it might be the most important. It builds the story of you. Every night, as you replay the day, the voice is at work. It links this morning to last year, connects who you were to who you are becoming, turns raw events into a narrative with you as the main character. Fernyhough argues that inner speech is central to this self-weaving, this ongoing conversation between different parts of you. When you catch yourself debating both sides of a decision in your head, that is not confusion. That is the machinery of reflection, two internal voices doing exactly what they evolved to do. Of course, the voice has a shadow, the same tool that coaches can also torment. Chatter, rumination, the 3 a.m. loop of everything you said wrong. But notice, the problem is never that you talk to yourself. The problem is how. A harsh inner voice repeating, "You idiot," trains your brain like a cruel coach trains an athlete badly. The fix is not silence. The fix is better dialogue. Use your name. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to someone you love. The research is clear that the voice takes direction. You are not just its listener, you are its author. So run the experiment. Next time you are overwhelmed, say your own name and coach yourself through it. Next time you are searching for something, say it out loud. Next time you face a hard task, give yourself instructions like a trainer would. It will feel silly for about 10 seconds. Then it will feel like what it is. A superpower hiding in plain sight. It happens in the parking lot, in the kitchen, in the shower. You are completely alone and you hear a voice. Your voice. Next time, do not glance around in embarrassment. That voice guided you when you were a child, and it has never stopped. You are not talking to yourself because something is wrong with you. You are talking to yourself because that is what a mind sounds like when it is working. So go ahead, answer back.